How many of you would like to see Joe Biden get in? Show of hands.
CNN had on a panel of Democratic voters and asked them for their thoughts on 2020. So they're going to touch on Joe Biden, Hillary Clinton, Barack Obama, Bernie Sanders comes up, and they're also going to discuss the issues that they care most about going into the election. So I have 4 different clips here to show you. There is some BS I'm going to refute from some of these voters because some of these people are clearly uninformed. But let me go to the first clip here where they talk about the candidates that they support for 2020.
I really like what Kamala Harris is doing in terms of, schooling and green initiatives. But also, to go with like a kind of old safety, with Bernie Sanders, he just had so much going for him.
Mary, who are you most excited about?
I would have to agree. My eye is on Senator Harris right now. I think it's time to have a woman because a woman brings a different perspective and has a different experience of life.
Michael?
I was for Bernie in the 2016 primaries. I think that he brings a lot to the table from 2016 because he now has the name recognition. He's got a machine behind him that's not necessarily the same as the Democratic Party machines. It's not enough to just energize Democrats. You need to find a candidate who can actually energize some of those 100 million plus people who just, for whatever reason, are not voting.
I'm not excited for Bernie, though.
Why?
I think it was very divisive last time around, and I think it's going to do the same thing. I'm looking for a candidate that's going to keep us alive and pull us together, and I don't think that's Bernie. I think that there is a section of the Republican Party that doesn't like Trump either and is looking for a more centrist candidate, and Bernie is way left.
If I had to pick someone right now, I really love Elizabeth Warren. I think she has everything that I'm looking for. She has really bold ideas. She's not backing down on making big promises, and she knows how to get them done. She knows how to sell them, and I think that's something we want in our president. I think that's what's going to beat Donald Trump.
I don't really think it's time to pick because we have 4 stellar women candidates, and I'm just for all of them to move forward and see which one rises above the others.
Christian, who are you most excited about?
I really like Cory Booker. I think he is phenomenal. I think he's done a really great job. I hope that Beto O'Rourke comes in. I think that he's just waiting, and I'm really energized about him. And Kamala Harris is right up there too.
How many people believe that the winning formula would be for a Democrat to be pragmatic and more centrist? Show of hands. 2 of you feel that way. How many of you feel that the time is right for a progressive and that's what would win?
I think that we had the standard bearer for the kind of pragmatic centrist candidate in Hillary Clinton in 2016, and Donald Trump is now the president.
All right, so a lot of fun stuff there. Some ridiculous crap that I'm going to refute in a second. But first, I want to respond to what we just saw before the break. Most of the people here, most of these voters agree that a progressive candidate is the way forward. As Michael said at the end of that clip, Hillary Clinton was the standard bearer for centrist politics. She was the center. If anything, she's center right, and she still wasn't able to get the votes in order to win. So this experiment has been tried again and again and again. You are not going to get Republican voters to vote for a Democrat. Why would they vote for Republican light when they can have the real thing? So the only way a Democrat can win now is you have to excite non-voters off the couch to go out and vote. And how do you do that? You do that with a bold message. You do that with a candidate that maybe has a lot of grassroots support, maybe has a lot of energy, maybe has a lot of small donors, showing you that this candidate actually speaks for the people and not for massive corporations or special interests. And right now, only one candidate in the race represents this, and that's Bernie Sanders. Now, the panel here, 2 of them mentioned Bernie, 2 or 3 mentioned Kamala Harris, 1 person mentioned Cory Booker and Beto. That's the same person who I'm going to refute in a second. 1 person mentioned Elizabeth Warren. This one lady made me laugh. She said, "I don't think it's time to pick because we have 4 stellar women candidates." You don't think it's time to pick, but you've already narrowed it down to 4 women. Look, I totally understand if your life is great, you have your home, you make enough money, maybe you're retired, everything for you is going well. You just want the symbolism of a woman candidate, of a female president. I get it. I totally get it. but understand that there are a lot of people in the country that don't have it good, that can't afford health care, that aren't being paid enough, that their lives, whether they're still paying back their college tuition or whatever they're going through, a lot of people are going through serious hardships, and they need a candidate willing to fight back against special interests. So that's why there's a lot of support behind Bernie Sanders, because people understand Bernie is for the people and not for the special interests, not for massive corporations. Again, I totally understand the symbolism. If there was a female version of Bernie, I would pick that female version of Bernie Sanders, but that just does not exist right now. So to me, I think Bernie Sanders is the clear choice. But I mean, I'm someone who cares about policy, who cares about actually challenging the status quo. If your life is fine and you care about symbolism more, then whatever. Now, this one person, Christian, said Bernie was divisive. I would like to ask how. This is something I hear brought up again and again, and it is simply a line that was pushed by Hillary Clinton surrogates and Democratic operatives, but has no actual basis in reality. Let me play this clip from 2016 about just how much Bernie Sanders helped Hillary Clinton's candidacy in 2016.
Well, he's been working his heart out. It's true. He started campaigning for Clinton really in earnest, basically as a full-time gig a couple of weeks ago. He appears really to be flooring it for Hillary Clinton. Over the first 5 days Bernie Sanders spent on the campaign trail for Hillary Clinton, over 5 days, he did 14 events for her. Minnesota, Iowa, Wisconsin, Michigan, Maine, New Hampshire, Pennsylvania, 14 events in 5 days. Yesterday and today and tonight, he's stumping for Hillary Clinton in Colorado. On Wednesday, he's going to Nevada for her. Tomorrow, though, he is spending all day and all night in Red State, Arizona. Bernie Sanders doing a rally for Clinton tomorrow in Flagstaff at 2:30. Then he's doing another rally for Clinton in Tucson at 7.
So tell me again how Bernie Sanders was divisive in 2016. Again, what examples do you have? What exactly did he do? He campaigned his ass off for Hillary in 2016. And because of Democratic operatives, Democratic consultants, and former Hillary Clinton staffers, people like this Christian on the panel are brainwashed by that into thinking that Bernie was somehow divisive. Again, he ran in a primary in a democracy. This is how the system works. If you don't like that multiple people can run for president, well, then you should you should fight for a different kind of political system that is maybe authoritarian. But this is a democracy where anybody can get into the race and run for president. Now, on top of that, let me show you, just how many voters voted, how many Sanders voters voted for Hillary Clinton versus how many Hillary Clinton voters voted for Obama in 2008. So this is from the Washington Post. How many Sanders voters voted for Donald Trump? Two surveys estimate that 12% of Sanders voters voted for Trump. A third survey suggests it was 6%. Based on data from the 2008 Cooperative Campaign Analysis Project, a YouGov survey that also interviewed respondents multiple times during the campaign, 24% of people who supported Clinton in the primary as of March 2008 then reported voting for McCain in the general election. An analysis of a different 2008 survey by the political scientists Michael Henderson, Sunshine Hilgus, and Trevor Thompson produced a similar estimate, 25%. Unsurprisingly, Clinton voters who supported McCain were more likely to have negative views of African Americans relative to those who supported Obama. Thus, the 6% or 12% of Sanders supporters who may have supported Trump does not look especially large in comparison with these other examples. So again, looking at the actual data, looking at how much Bernie campaigned for Hillary in 2016, looking at the amount of Sanders voters that voted for Hillary Clinton compared to how many Hillary Clinton voters voted for Obama, you can see that he was not divisive. If anything, Hillary Clinton would have lost by even a much larger margin, or she wouldn't have been able to win the popular vote if it wasn't for the help of Bernie Sanders. So understand here, if you think he's divisive, if you've somehow been told that, think back and wonder why. What evidence were you given that makes you think that? If you don't have any evidence, then you've just been brainwashed. Now, this same person, also said that Trump voters want someone in the center and that Bernie is way left. Again, you are not going to attract Trump voters to really any Democrat. Trump voters are going to vote for Trump. If you want a Democrat to win, understand you need more people to get off the couch and vote. You need to reach non-voters and independents. Bernie Sanders won independents. Bernie Sanders got people off the couch to come out and vote for him and show up at the rallies and give him money and small dollar donations. I mean, this is somebody who is a voice for the people. He shows this again and again and again. And it's because not only has a strong platform, but he has a history of supporting these issues. And all of that combined with the fact that he does not have private fundraisers. He does not have a super PAC. He does not take corporate money. Shows you who Bernie is fighting for. Now, let me go to the next clip here where they talk about Joe Biden. So before I play this clip, there's 6 on this panel. In your mind, guess how many of these 6 support Joe Biden. You might be surprised. Watch.
How many of you would like to see Joe Biden get in? Show of hands. What's happening, Russell?
His time is done.
I'll be honest. I used to think because obviously he was riding like kind of the Obama wave, and I thought he was the person that would unite the party. But to be honest, Senator Biden really comes from the good old boy politics of the past.
I don't think Joe Biden represents that new thing that we need. We need a new economy. We need a new politics, and we need someone different.
All right, so that surprised me. I really thought that there'd be at least one person on this panel that supported Joe Biden or would be open to him running, but no. So I'm telling you, if Biden runs, his support is going to drop off immediately and considerably. He is not going to be able to catch up or stay at pace with anybody else in the race. I really think if I were to guess now what's going to happen near the end of this campaign, I really think it's going to be Bernie and Kamala Harris. That's what I think it's going to be, because I think all the establishment support, all the big money support is behind Kamala Harris, and on the other side of that you have Bernie Sanders that has the people-powered movement. So these two, I think, are going to go the distance. Now let me go to the next clip here where they talk about the policies they care most about. Now, I'm going to make a reference. So I'm going to play this clip and try to remember who supported what candidate and the policies that these people are most concerned about, because it's kind of funny. Watch.
If the election were held today, Mary, what's your big issue that you feel you would vote on?
My big issue truly is about climate change. I think because it touches everyone, and it touches jobs, and it touches our future. And we cannot have a conversation about politics without considering what we are doing to the planet.
And I mean, you see people freaking out over the wall and these migrants coming up from Central and South America. I mean, that's going to be like nothing compared to the migration we will see as climate change really starts to affect the sea level rise. I mean, the ice is melting fast.
My big issue is the global world order. I mean, we have a president who has humiliated the United States on the global stage.
I echo all the sentiments on climate change. I also am going to be looking for a candidate that's going to take on sensible gun regulation. That's a big one for me. That's maybe the biggest one for me.
I think overall, like whoever I support, they have to be for Medicare for all. It's hurting so many people. It's something Democrats have worked on since FDR, and we absolutely need to have that. Healthcare just needs to be a human right.
All right. Before I get to the climate change stuff, I want to address that last voter there. So this is a guy who supports Elizabeth Warren. And look, I think Elizabeth Warren is a strong number 2 in the race. But one of the issues she has been wavering a bit on is Medicare for all. So this Warren supporter cares most about Medicare for all. The one of the few progressive issues that Elizabeth Warren has not been as strong on as Bernie Sanders, who literally has the bill in the Senate for Medicare for all and has been fighting for it for 40 years. So again, if you really cared about the policies, cared about the issues, and you want your candidate to be you want to be able to trust your candidate to push for these policies when they're president, then support somebody that has a track record, that is saying the right things, that can prove to you that, yes, I actually will fight for you because I am only listening to you, the small donors. Now, the climate change stuff. So, look, I think a lot of people are assuming that because, you have Kamala Harris saying, oh, I support a Green New Deal, that she will actually support a Green New Deal when she's president, despite having no history on this issue. So Bernie Sanders, again, if you really cared about climate change and addressing it seriously, you would go with the godfather of the Green New Deal, Bernie Sanders. His 2016 climate platform included many of the elements of the Green New Deal now being championed by politicians like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and climate organizations like the Sunrise Movement, which was actually founded by a bunch of young Bernie activists. So climate change happened to be a big issue with these voters, the same voters, a lot of them that don't support Bernie. So think about that. If you actually cared about these issues and pushing them forward, you would want to support the candidate that you can trust to do so. Now, let me go to, I believe, the last clip here, where they touch on Hillary Clinton and Obama.
So does Hillary have a role in 2020? Should she campaign for?
Stay away.
Why is that?
I love you, Hillary. I love you. But stay away. We're so divided right now that anything that has Hillary on it is automatically going to separate us again.
I just think her time is done. I think it's done. We do need something new.
Do you feel the same way about President Obama? Should he campaign for who?
Yes, he should campaign. He's a great campaigner. He's very beloved, and he also has a tremendous connection to all the people that love him.
Okay, before I get to Hillary Clinton, Obama. Now, their response on Obama was sort of mine. It's, yeah, I guess he should campaign. Look, this is how I feel. I don't think it really matters. I think, sure, I guess he has a core base of support, but I think there's a lot of crossover. I think his core base of supporters are going to vote for whoever the Democratic nominee is anyway. I don't think Obama is necessarily going to bring out new voters to come and vote. So I don't think it's going to help, but I also don't think it's really going to hurt. So Obama out campaigning in 2020, sure, whatever. Hillary Clinton, though, I was pleasantly surprised by this panel, all agreeing that, yeah, it's time for Hillary to go away. And you know what? The one candidate that has not taken a call from Hillary Clinton or has not called the candidate is Bernie Sanders. So Bernie has not been called by Hillary. Bernie has said that he doesn't suspect to get Hillary's call or have her, I guess, on the campaign trail or whatever. So again, if you are super concerned about these issues, super concerned about how these candidates will be campaigning, Bernie is the clear front runner here. All you have to do is a little research and you'll figure that out.